Welcome into the Storm 2010 tournament, of course, hosted by CyberGamer and sponsored by Western Digital with those lovely Velociraptors. We hear myself, Tobiwan, Kenobi and Pandan coming to you for a New Zealand versus Singapore match. Kowi versus the Tendersteak, Protoss versus a Protoss here on the Zelnaka Caverns. Pandan, welcome. We've got a long night of casting ahead of us.
Yeah, indeed, and we're starting off this first one with a nice Protoss versus Protoss battle, Tendersteak versus Kowi. And we're about to start this one off, Toby, so we'll do the 5 second countdown to make sure we're in sync with our two replays.
Yeah, we can go 5. Let's go 3, just to make it a little bit faster. So in 3, 2, 1, and we're going. Of course, we've set it to faster casting off the replays tonight with a couple of changes to our video stream. Forced to basically cast off the replays, but we are still getting the action out to them, Pandan.
Yeah, indeed. So this is Protoss versus Protoss. We're on a very famous map. There's been some huge matches on this one, and of course this is one of the easier ones to bust out a bit of Void Ray cheese on, Toby, because there is a shitload of space on this map.
Yeah, be able to move through, because we have seen a couple of matches so far here in the Storm tournament with that first expansion, and the ability to actually hold it. This is where we've seen a lot of epic maneuvers coming out through the harassment, trying to hold it through. I think last time we saw Kowi on this map, he liked to go for the expansion. I think it was around the 25-30 mark. He went down and basically tried to lock himself in with a couple of photon cannons and pylons and kept it getting pushed and got, I think got outpushed in one of the matches, took him to 3, I think. And he got done by a Mass Marine Marauder Ball. This time around, he is down the bottom once again, so we'll see what he does actually come up with this time. So far, both players just going for nothing but, well, we've got Pylon, first Gateway coming out here at 11 for Kowi, and Gateway a little bit late coming out here from Tendersteak.
Yeah, and Tendersteak's scouting, though, is miles ahead. He arrives in the base just as his opposing Protoss is made his way out. He's actually doing a... looks like he'll actually be going for a wall off with his cybernetics core. And whereas that's not even in the picture for our Kiwi mate Kowi. So both getting there similar about the same time. We're still in that point where you should expect it to be a mirror build. In the next minute or two is when we should start to see something a little bit different.
They're a little bit out at the moment. Like the assimilators now both down for both players. Cybernetics core dropping for Kowi. He might go Gates, but I don't think Kowi wants to lock off that ramp except with his own units. He can do it that way. It's Protoss versus Protoss. There's no reason. Actually, I was playing with a good mate of mine, Jerry, last night, and he literally said the worst thing you could possibly do when you're Protoss versus Protoss is to actually wall in, because the Protoss love it. The Protoss love it, but throw those big boys at the front, they'll use their Immortals, they'll slice them up. The Stalkers, which they love to hit from range, it's not like the Zerg where you want to try and hold them out, or the Terrans, which they'll come in and hit you from range as well. Sometimes the wall doesn't help you, especially in this case. Cyberg's sword now going down from Kowi, and you go straight for those warp gates, so they're going to come up nice and fast, and they're already in the production line here for Tendersteak. His Cyberg's core is still lagging just that little bit behind, but he is going to drop down a second gateway to try and catch up a little bit more.
Yeah, and Kowi now has put down another 2, so by the time he's got his warp gate research, he should have 3 solid gateways ready to go, and he has even got his first Stalker set out to go straight into the enemy base.
Yeah, he won't move it in. It's just to keep it nice and close. But that probe is still running rings around. It's going to drop down a pylon just to piss off that Zealot. The Zealot, of course, was tracking it down there, so we'll bring it down. And he's dropping a couple of pylons at the moment. This might be a big push here from Kowi. The gateways will complete. No, they're not. The warp gate's still got another minute away before it's going to be done. And he's not going to get himself in there. But he is pulling those probes away from the pylons to try and bring them down. One pylon actually does complete too. In fact, both of them will actually complete. No units to warp in though, with the warp gates not being completed. So it's just literally a bit of harassment, and 200 minerals worth of harassment inside the base. Not sure it's exactly worth it, but Tendersteak obviously lost that amount of minerals, the amount of probes he just pulled off the line.
Yeah, and we're about to see his warp gate finish up now, and we have 4 gate ready to go. But obviously no pylons anywhere near the enemy base, so it's got to wait for him to send off those warp gates. Here we go, all 4 on the way now, and this is where it starts to get a bit tricky. Twilight Council, maybe get some Zealot leg speed, because that's actually pretty brutal. So yeah, only 3rd gateway coming up as Tendersteak now as well, and Kowi's actually put a nice placed pylon up the top left there to get himself a bit of vision. But time being, he's not going to be going for a big push, but he definitely has the capacity to do it.
Yeah, he does, but you also notice so far here, Kowi, he's Dark Shrine actually coming out, so bring on the Templars. He really pushed himself ahead on the resource count. He's fallen a little bit behind. Now he actually puts another probe into the mix here, but he's been sitting at 25 to 23 harvesters, 25 to 23 probes for a while now. I would have expected him to actually go for his first expansion, but he actually had no units whatsoever on the field. Tendersteak, he was pumping up sentries. He's actually now got 3 sentries spread out across that ramp as well. Going to try and hold them off that way while he continues to get more warp gates up in our robotics facility in the queue as well. But Tendersteak, he pumped a lot of resources out just from that one probe harassing inside. Kowi now comes out, finds one of Tendersteak's stalkers. Going to push it back there. No actual physical damage to it as he only just tagging the shields down. But those stalkers will be able to hold Tendersteak in there. But what I was getting back to is the fact that Kowi is already ahead on the income line. He's been pushing it hard. He's been trying to get the resources up and setting his army up for when he actually needs it, where we've seen Tendersteak having to stretch himself out a little bit more, and that's why he's a little bit behind. He's got to go robotics facility up now too, and well played there by Tendersteak. He's going to get himself a little bit back here, holding Kowi's stalkers in place with those sentry shields. So Kowi getting a little bit too confident there, and well, Tendersteak, he's been behind a little bit here on the economy, but he's got a lot of kills so far.
Yeah, and Kowi now does have that pylon up the top right, and now he's sending in
Templars.
Dark Templars.
No invis detection. Immortal coming out of the robotics facility. Those Templars, if they can get themselves through, the Zealots blocking their way, so they're going to slice their way into it. 3 Templars to do the damage though, and they're locking shields. He's going blind shields, and he's locked him in with a pylon. Fantastic play, but it's not going to hold him for much longer. He's got no invis detection. He's actually now chrono boosting that observer up there to try and see them, and he's holding them in place with those sentries. Now more Zealots warping in with 1 Stalker as well, and the Dark Templar finally gets through. Observer is up. They can see all. The Templars now splitting themselves up. 1 Templar's now gone behind to try and harass the mineral line here. The Observer's still moving up. Those Stalkers doing whatever they can while the Templars are attacking the Cybernetics core and are about to kill it. 1 Templar playing distraction. Cybernetics core going on down. So that's really going to stump the growth at the moment. And, well, the entire army is moving through the probe line, making an absolute hell of a congestion. And the Templars are still attacking the gateway. There's two Templars attacking the gateway while Tendersteak is searching around for the other probes. And he's got to get that Observer back here. A little bit lax on the micromanagement there, but in the end the Observer will come through, and that warp gate has really been damaged off.
Yeah, it's just about dead, that Observer there. That was good timing with those shields to chrono boost out that Observer. That was just brilliant play by him. The blind shields were perfect.
Templars in again. Templars in again. They can't see him, but they've managed to surround him. Actually, yes, they can see him. How the hell are they seeing him at the moment? The Observer's not up. But anyway, the probe's brought him down right next to the Nexus. And, well, he can still walk him in. That pylon is right there. And the Templars just keep moving in and harassing. Now they're going for the pylons while we see a counter-attack coming out from Tendersteak. He's going to go for the Kowi expansion here, who, as I predicted last time he did it, he's done it again. The pylon's down, the photon cannon's up. He's got his army to actually keep that off until those cannons actually get up. 3 cannons. A bit of an army about to push down, but more units warping in. Sentries are up. The Stalkers attacking from range. The Zealots up there. They're trying to block him in. Tendersteak has managed to actually pick off 2 Stalkers on the sides. The shields are up. The photon cannons. They're trying to focus on them, but the cannons are hitting them from the sides as well. More units warping in on top of that one, while the Templar should still be harassing them out. No, he's not. He's not even worrying about it. But the Kowi forced back to his 2, and Tendersteak lost a lot of units there. He can't keep the reinforcements up, can't keep the push up there, and Kowi defends his first expansion, being 1 expansion up, which is now completed as well. Probes transitioning down, and he's still got that pylon there, allowing him to push the Templars in for harassment.
Yeah, he is. He's well on top at the moment. Let's have a quick look at income. Income, the Harvesters are pretty spot on, and Tendersteak now just dropping down his natural expansion there. And looks like he'll be setting up a pylon to put down a few defenses for himself as well. So even though Kowi's got that expansion a little bit earlier, and definitely is on top money-wise and probe-wise, this teching here from Tendersteak could well keep him in the game, but I don't know. The fact that he's got observers out has completely nullified those DTs. Should slow down Kowi a bit, but we'll have to see exactly how the composition of armies change over the next minute or 2.
Kowi's just trying to mass up the Stalkers, trying to get that maneuver out there. Interesting to see, he actually hasn't gone for his blink just yet. Even though he actually has the Twilight Council, is now chrono boosting into production, so he's going to try and get that blink up there, give himself that little bit of mobility around the map, while Tendersteak thinks about moving in again.